According to the latest reports, drug use in New Zealand is undergoing a significant shift with a sharp increase in cocaine and methamphetamine use. National drugs in wastewater testing program results that were released by the police show meth consumption in the third quarter of this year doubled to 32.4 kilograms per week compared to the average weekly quantity over the previous year of 16.8 kilograms. The consumption of cocaine in the third quarter has doubled as well to 5.5 kgs per week compared to previous of 3 kgs. The affordability of other drugs like cannabis and psychedelics has also changed. Cannabis remains the most widely used illegal substance, with home cultivation contributing to price reductions. Psychedelics like LSD have seen growing interest due to their potential therapeutic benefits, alongside loosening restrictions in other countries, I suppose, like the US and Australia. In contrast, MDMA's growth has been constrained apparently by supply shortages and concerns over pill potency. Alcohol is still the most commonly consumed substance, followed by cannabis, while vaping has overtaken smoking in popularity. We're aware of that. And the NZ Drug Trends survey points to a generational and regional divide, where younger users exploring psychedelics and the older demographic maintains traditional substance preferences. Old dogs, new tricks, not. The Drug Foundation's executive director is Sarah Helm. It's great to welcome her back onto the show. It's been a while. Hello, Sarah.
Oh, hey there. How are you?
I'm good. Well, there's a bit to get through here, but the wastewater analysis indicates a dramatic 93% rise in cocaine use over the past year. That's an incredible jump. What's behind this, you think?
Yeah, it's a really big increase. We're out of all the things you listed out, the things we're mostly concerned about is the meth, cocaine, and the potent opioids. But anyway, very specifically, look, cocaine production has grown massively globally. During COVID, the producers of cocaine became much more efficient at producing it, essentially. So production boomed. And so at the time, the UNODC warned us, you can expect more of it in countries that haven't had it. And that is what we're seeing play out here. Cocaine is one of the more harmful substances, even though people might think of it as a glamour drug. It's one that is more addictive and can cause other health problems. So we are very much keeping an eye on that and are worried about it for sure.
So interesting you said that, Sarah, that, it's some think it's glamorous because, I mean, I know in people circles I know, cocaine's part of their everyday, every weekend kind of going out, right? And these are business people that think it's just a bit of fun. But as you just said, is it one of the more harmful ones? Why is that? Is it a more addictive or what does cocaine do?
Yes, it's been relatively rare actually in New Zealand, just even in that context of people who might have had more access to it. It's been pretty hard to get up until the last year or two. It wears off very quickly, and so people want to redose, but actually it's got an additional sort of compulsive redosing quality to it that is more than just, say, you'd finished your drink and you want to have another one. It's got something a little bit more than that makes you want to, I think it's the dopaminergic effects or something or other.
Right.
And then you can have, if you do start to form an addiction, you might change how you're taking it. That can lead to some other things. So there are some things that we can do from just even a harm reduction standpoint. For example, we've, contacted our Te Whatu Order, Health NZ, around needles and making sure we've got enough clean injecting equipment if we see a rapid increase in something like cocaine injecting rather than snorting, which people might be more familiar with. So, So it can present new issues. Just changing the drug profile itself can change what supports are needed.
Right. This is how naive I am, Sarah. I always thought people just snorted cocaine, but my gosh, I suppose you can inject anything, so they inject as well. Okay.
Well,
Right.
if you do start to form an addiction, you want it to arrive in your body faster. So
Faster in the
it
bloodstream,
can
yeah.
also create an imperative for you to try some different ways of taking it. Yeah.
Wow. Meth, Sarah, methamphetamine
Yeah.
remains prevalent, particularly in regions I see like Waikato, Northland, Whanganui. Are we seeing more people taking it, or those that take it are taking more, if that made sense?
Yeah, so the wastewater data on both coke and meth, I should also say, record breaking. We haven't seen this level before. So not only is it a
Wow.
huge uptick in meth, it's been over 3 months and it hasn't come down,
Oh,
and it's an all-time record. So I generally don't freak out about these numbers, but I am, we've been worried about this. So yeah, just to say that, and then. We don't have evidence that the number of people taking it has increased.
right.
There aren't studies that cover the same period, but the studies in the recent period that have come out don't suggest an increase. We aren't hearing about an increase. And conversely, some of those recent studies suggest people taking more. So we think it's the same, relatively small number of New Zealanders taking it more often, or more of it. And that also is likely to not only result in more addiction, so if you were taking it less often, taking it more often might lead
Yeah.
you up that addiction pathway, but also is likely to be turning up with acute harm, so people turning up in hospital with heart issues, something we call overamping, which is sort of like a stimulant overdose, if you like, and psychosis even. So we are staying in touch with the people we can to find out what might be turning up.
Right.
We have for a long time been calling for some things,
Yeah.
and we continue to call for the same things. And these figures really, to my mind, tell the story that we badly need them. There has been a relatively effective program up north. I say that knowing that the figures have gone up north, but we need to invest in programs like that are making a
Yeah.
difference.
I wanted to talk to you about that, Sarah. Is that the Te Ara Oranga program
That's
up
the
north?
one, yeah.
And you say it even though I know the numbers have gone up up north, but you say it's a good. Is it a community run? Is it
Yeah,
what is the program?
it's actually police-led, believe it or
Oh,
not.
okay.
The police, this is under the key government, so the last national government. It kind of continued under the last lot. They extended to one other place, kind of. Then we're sort of still standing there waiting. But anyway, police-led. Instead of arresting people, they knock on their doors and encourage them to get treatment. It takes a sort of a community prevention approach as well.
Right.
They made a standpoint of making treatment very available, so you could get it within a short amount of time. Put interventions in the ED, put interventions out to get people into employment. Just a more
Wow.
comprehensive approach than just supply busts and arresting people.
Yeah.
So that is what our drug policy is meant to be, and we've never really paid much money or time or attention into the full suite of things that we should be doing. Not to mention now, I'm going to call it archaic, but I am the same age as the Misuse of Drugs Act, the archaic Misuse of Drugs Act.